using tweets and posts to speed up organ donation. First of two articles. In 2004, Rick Siegel, a father of 4 living in Rye, New York, found his stamina inexplicably failing him as he did his regular runs. He went to see his doctor, and learned he had a genetic disease that enlarges and weakens the heart. Siegel was about to turn 50, but his heart was pumping at 1/8 of a normal heart's effectiveness. He needed a transplant. He got on a waiting list, and for the next 5 years, he was in and out of hospitals while his heart deteriorated further. He underwent multiple 12-hour operations. A defibrillator was installed in his chest. Then came mechanical pumps for both ventricles. "I got a belt from a police wholesale site to carry around these huge batteries," he said. Because the heart pumps had an 18-month lifespan, an imminent transplant became his only option. So he and his family played a risky card. "You are allowed to choose a 30-day period where you can be listed as 1A, he said, referring to the highest priority designation for transplant. During that month, Siegel needed to be matched with a donor with blood type O who weighed at least 180 pounds. It didn't help that he lived in New York, which ranked 49th of the 50 states in the percentage of people registered as organ donors. On Monday, February 9, 2009, the 29th day of his 1A status, he and his wife were driving on the Hutchinson River Parkway to New York Presbyterian Hospital to seek end-of-life counseling. "We had pretty much given up hope," he said, when the phone rang. "They said, 'Go home, pack your bags. A heart has been found.'" A 26-year-old intravenous drug user from Boston had overdosed. The next day his heart was pumping in Siegel's body. "They tell you in 6 months, you'll feel like you're 20 or something," he said. It was true. Over the past 60 years, since the first kidney transplant was performed in Boston in 1954, there have been astonishing advances in the field. Today, donors and recipients can be precisely matched through tissue typing, organs can be transported long distances, and organ rejection and debilitating side effects can be controlled with improved immunosuppressant drugs. Last year, nearly 31,000 lives were saved in the United States through transplants. But there is a problem: demand for organ transplants vastly outstrips supply, as my colleague Tina Rosenberg has reported. In 2015 in the United States, there were only about 9,000 deceased donors, each of whom can save up to 8 lives, and 6,000 living donors, who most often donate a kidney or liver lobe. Today, more than 121,000 people are on waiting lists, roughly 100,000 for kidney transplants, 15,000 for livers, and 4,000 for hearts. And the lists keep getting longer. 3,000 people are added to the kidney list each month. Last year, more than 4,000 people died while waiting for a new kidney. 3,600 dropped off the waiting list because they became too sick to qualify for a transplant. Although 95% of Americans support organ donation, fewer than half of American adults are registered as donors. Research suggests that the number who donate organs after death could be increased greatly. Moreover, surveys indicate untapped support for living donation, too. Nearly 1 in 4 people have told pollsters they would be willing to donate a kidney to save the life of a friend, community member or stranger. If 1 in 10,000 Americans decided to donate each year, there wouldn't be a shortage, said Josh Morrison, who donated a kidney to a stranger and founded Waitlist Zero, an organization that works to increase living kidney donation. What could be done to harness people's generous impulses more effectively to save lives? One group attacking the question is Organize, which was founded in 2014 by Rick Siegel's son Greg, and Jenna Arnold, a media producer and educator who has worked with MTV and the United Nations in engaging audiences in social issues. Organize uses technology, open data and insights from behavioral economics to simplify becoming an organ donor. This approach is shaking up long-standing assumptions. For example, in the last 4 decades, people have most often been asked to register as an organ donor as part of renewing or obtaining a driver's license. This made sense in the 1970s, when the nation's organ procurement system was being set up, says Blair Sadler, the former president and chief executive of Rady Children's Hospital in San Diego. He helped draft the Uniform Anatomical Gift Act in 1967, which established a national legal framework for organ donation. Healthcare leaders were asking, how do we make this more routine? He recalled. It's hard to get people to put it in their wills. Oh, there's a place where people have to go every 5 years, their State Department of Motor Vehicles. Today, governments allow individuals to initiate registrations online, but the process can be cumbersome. For example, New York State required me to fill out a digital form on my computer, then print it out and mail it to Albany. Donate Life America, by contrast, allows individuals to register online as an organ donor just by logging in with email or a Facebook or Google account, much easier. In practice, legal registration may be overemphasized. It may be just as important to simply make your wishes known to your loved ones. When people tell relatives, if something happens to me, I want to be an organ donor, families almost always respect their wishes. This is particularly important for minors, who cannot legally register as donors.